For those of you who do watch things for the interpretation, for the art, for those of you who do see recurring themes and patterns, what themes and what patterns have you seen in my work, either in this video in particular or in general? A year ago, I was exhausted. You know when you're biking uphill and you're like, you just keep pushing because you're like, okay, at least when I get to the top, I can just let go of the pedals and fly. And it felt like I was biking, waiting for the top, but I never get there. There's no place where it stops. And then lockdown. This is gonna require some explanation. In our statistics class, we were given numbers to call and we had to pretty much like just do a survey over the phone. And then the group I was in is 3 people. I was the only one who called someone. So I was like, our prof actually said like there are extra numbers if people want to call. It was optional, but you know, it was recommended. So I was like, hey guys, like, this was last week. I said, hey guys, our teacher said there are other numbers to call, so I would definitely recommend that. I'm not sure how this is all gonna look, but I would hate to be the only one with experience in this. So they kind of were like, nah, we don't wanna call anyone. I only saw today that one of the members had talked to a TA and you didn't have to call people to get the data. They're gonna just compile all of the data in one, and as a group we're just going to look at that. So we didn't all need to call, right? I had no idea. I was just assuming, and I was just like, I'd recommend it. Please let me know what y'all think. I don't want to work on it alone, but I would hate to be the only one who like did the work. So long story short, I have to find a new group because like they went ahead to find a new group without me because I had taken a while to respond. But the reason I took a while is because A, I'm really busy, and B, the one response I did see was them saying they're going to join a new group. So yeah, I have to find a new group, and because I don't want to do this alone because this is really confusing. On top of this, I am stressed the hell out because yesterday I lost so much time. The reason I slept in the guest room is because I washed my sheets, but I still have to iron them. And then I have to watch one of my classes. It's an hour long, but it's going to take like at least double that because I'm pausing and typing, and on top of that, there's another class I didn't get to finish. So it's just like the whole day is pretty much accounted for. And I also have a second class today. So for people who know me in real life and are like, oh, you're barely online, like we barely get to talk to you, it's because literally Sunday to Friday at sunset, I am working on all of this. Even when I'm in class, if I am confused by something and I miss it or I zone out, I have to re-watch the whole video again. So you spend the time being in class, it's like 50 minutes, and then you end up missing something and you have to re-watch it. And like you have to re-watch anyway so that it sinks in, but it's just frustrating because again, it's like, I just wish I caught it the first time because then again, that's more time out of your schedule. So, and it is a bit like stressful for me when people are like demanding more time and like complaining about me not making time for them when like there's literally not time in my schedule. I have to pass my classes. This is like my last year of university. I need to do well in it. I just wish that some people were more considerate and know that it's not personal, and you stressing me out for not having time is actually contributing more to the problem. Okay, yeah, I mean, like, the good thing is I'm not the only one. It seems like some other people are like also looking for a group. Yeah, I'm just gonna reply to this, like, thank God for this whole thing. I'm not gonna show it because people's emails are in here, but listen, guys, like, to those who are like, oh my gosh, like, I always wish I went to college. It's really not fun and games here. It's like little things that are stressful, and I know by the end of the semester, these problems are all obsolete. It's literally irrelevant. So it's like you go through all of this for what, right? I mean, all of this is for the research project, which contributes to your grade. But after the class is complete and your grade is out.
Now, how did your life change? Did you get the guy? Did you get the job? Is your house any bigger? Did money just magically, get put in your pocket? What positive happened in your life?
The stress was for nothing. I think a lot of celebrities glamorize college because they wish they would have gone. And it's like, okay, but we're all out here struggling with these irrelevant stressors in life. And none of it matters at the end of the day, yet it still stresses you out because it matters in the moment. Guys, this is why I don't vlog. Like, it's just really nothing exciting. It's literally me doing homework and me ignoring all the contacts in my phone. But on the bright side, it's Friday, so sunset, I get to just enjoy the Sabbath, relax, not think about any of this, and just have a whole reset. So I'm really looking forward to that and just spending time with God. I take Sabbath so seriously, child. Like, I need it. Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, no, I'm gonna do stuff on Saturday. No, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, that is God's time, me and God's time only. I'm not doing any type of work. I'm not watching any type of entertainment because these TV shows, y'all drama on the shows stress me out. Your YouTube videos and the topics y'all talk about stress me out. I just want to have my time with God, listen to the worship music, pray, just like spend time with people and be grateful virtually. And once sunset hits again, it's back to the books, it's back to work. So that's just really how life looks at this point. So I was told that every powerful woman has a passion planner. I believe that. My life has changed since I got one. Right now I'm gonna write everything that I plan to do for the day. Right now it is 12:32 and I have just come back from my stats class. We celebrate the small victories over here, so we're writing everything. I have another stats class. All right, 2:30 onward. I have my lab. Okay, so in between that time, what do I wanna do? Let me leave 1 p.m. open so I can eat, and then in between that time, I wanna do Psych 366 in between that time and then do the lab. So I already cleaned my house, which is good. So I won't have to do that today. I believe sunset is at 6 p.m. now. So at least I have a good chunk of the day to do everything. I will have to iron. While I iron, I should watch something. Oh, I still have that class. Oh my gosh. Okay, so after 2:30, let's do what we can in 365. All right, let's get my green. All right, I'm gonna give myself maybe like an hour break because that's really a lot. So 4 to 5, I'll do Psych 365 and then work my way through that. And then 5:30 to 6, I already cooked, so at least I don't have to do that. Let me just iron. If I'm done, then I'll iron. All right, let's write that. Whenever I'm having a bad day or a stressful day, I like to just dress up and accessorize. So I'm thinking, okay, because I'm wearing navy here, I'm gonna do denim choker. Kind of like gonna go simple today. I think silver. Let's do silver because I'm wearing gray. Okay, let's do the little like heart hoops. Yeah, but like I read this quote. Well, I've heard this quote and I'm sure you guys have heard it too. And it goes like, if we could put all our problems in a pile, Like every human being put their problems in a pile. We would take one look at other people's problems and we pick ours back up. So I really think it's like one of those things where like, yeah, we think, oh, my life is so stressful. And of course it is. Like, I'm not invalidating anyone's experience, including my own. But it's just like, compared to what other people go through, we are all given what we have the tools to handle. The combination of stressful things we go through, they are really difficult for anyone to deal with, but it's something that we have the tools to strategize around. Or if we don't, we have the option to just honestly say, God, I can't handle this, please take care of it. And honestly, like whenever I've done that, I have seen amazing things happen. Like for some reason, I've found on days where it's hard to wake up or like you're feeling so anxious and overwhelmed. Like when I pray, God, please take over, suddenly I find myself productive. I find myself getting things absolutely done. And it's just like somehow, and I know I couldn't find the strength within myself, but somehow I had the strength, which I know is from God, to finish everything. And I know it sounds like, oh yeah, come on, but it's real. Like if you've ever actually gone through it, you know, you're like, there was no way I did that without God's help. Like no way. Things can stress you out, and yeah, we all think like it'd be easier if my life was like XYZ, but the truth is that everything you have in your life, you have the tools to deal with it, rather than wasting time saying, oh, I wish this, or if only my life was like that, or like people don't get it. Just mind your business, strategize, find ways to work around things. So I have found a planner really helpful in getting my work done. I'm thinking of doing this. Yeah, I found a planner really helpful, and I found my time management skills have improved so much. So I'm really, really proud of myself for that. I did give myself time between classes and work to just like eat and plan my day and also just adjust to everything happening. So it's super important to plan rest in your time as well. Like that is so important. I know people always feel like, well, if I just work, I can get everything done. It's like, no, after a break, you are so much more productive. Do I want to do matte or do I want to do a gloss? I think matte is good. I like that. There's this study about lab rats back when people used to do things on rats, where the rats were like swimming in the water. And they had a group where they let them swim for like a long duration of time. And then they had another group where they would swim and then they would give them a break. Like they, reduce the water until they could like stand again. Then they'd increase the water again and swim. And they found that the ones who just swam, let's say 5 minutes straight, got tired and drowned. Again, like I'm so sorry, trigger warning for people who are sensitive to that, including myself, but science, right? But then the group that had time to rest and had time to just like regroup themselves was able to swim for a longer amount of time when the water rose back again than the first group did with no break all the way straight. So they ended up lasting even longer than 5 minutes after that break. So the bottom line is that like you need to schedule in time within your schedule to take breaks and to relax, because it really does make a difference. All right, I'm going to go ahead and eat and do other things with my day, but on my break, I'm not gonna be vlogging because vlogging counts as work, so. Okay, so I also take out my trash and recycling. Unexciting, I know, boring, but I just feel like this is a niche experience to students or people who have ever like been at a certain point in your life. Everything costs, even garbage bags. Like, have you ever been so broke that you literally reuse the same plastic? Like these you get for free at the grocery store, right? So I'm gonna transfer my trash to here and reuse this. I have to buy garbage bags, which I only use for under the kitchen sink. Although, really, I don't have to. Like, I know it's unsanitary, but it's literally the garbage. Like, you wash your hands after touching it anyway. But, you know, we just go ahead and transfer that.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
People who can afford garbage bags, you are living in luxury and you don't even know it. I'm gonna take all of this throw it out, and voila, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, because that, I don't want to think about it. Next.
Washing my hands. Y'all, it is 3:30 p.m. and I already need a nap. I'm not gonna nap though. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, like, I have nothing positive to say. I just can't wait until sunset and Sabbath. This is the thing about living alone. It's not that there's even like more to do. It's just that there are less people there to do it. Like if I'm at my parents' house on Fridays, my brother and I and my mom, since my dad works, we clean the house. We also do our homework and stuff because all of us are studying, and dishes and all of that, right? So like all of the work I'm doing, it's not that it's more. It's just that there's only one person doing it, and I'm cooking, and I'm studying, and I'm doing laundry, and I am cleaning the house. Like it's everything at once, and it's not bad. It's just different. I actually like the challenge of finishing everything. So as much as I might be like, yeah, guys, I have so much to do, it's not like in a complaining way. It's like, this is a challenge. And by the way, I did find a new group, literally. Thank God. I'm gonna email them just to like follow up, but I did find a new group, so that is out of the way and not a stress anymore. Nobody's stressing me about like not talking to them anymore, because like, listen, man, I ain't got time. When Drake said, forget going online, that ain't part of my day, I felt that, like, actually. All right, I'll see y'all later. I'm about to go round 2 with this studying, and then we're gonna get into some ironing, and then we're done. We can finally rest. Good morning. I did sleep in, which was really nice. And I took my time getting ready, was listening to some worship music and singing along. I might catch a sermon, or I might go ahead and just do my own private study. And that's what I love about it. Like, it's very flexible. You don't have to do just one thing. I do have like a meeting at 2, and then I have another meeting at 3. Sometimes Sabbaths can get busy too and feel like school, where you're waking up early, you're here, you're this, and I don't like that. So on the weeks where my week has just been really busy, I like to just make Sabbath different and sleep in and take my time in worship and do whatever I need to do and not be pressured like, oh, this starts at this time, I have to be here. This starts at this time, because then it's the same thing as the whole week, you know? So, and that's the thing, God is not limited to just time and only working within certain times. You can have a blessing at any point in the day. So that's another thing that makes Sabbath that much better, less pressure. So now I'm gonna actually make lunch. And I literally love this lunch. Eating and getting ready for the day absolutely tired me out. I need a nap. It's 2 p.m. My first meeting it's gonna be just a catch-up session with some of the ladies from church. So yeah, that would be nice. Child, let's just see how long I can, last. One of the ladies baked cookies for us, which was so sweet of her. And like literally, we were all looking forward to Thursday because we're like, okay, that's cookie day. That's when she dropped them off at everybody's house. So then we're like, okay, I'm looking forward to Thursday. It's cookie day. We've been like kikiing in the group talking about like, we'll see how many cookies are left by the time we actually have our meeting, which is right now. Now it is 2 on the dot. So I'm going to go and get my cookies ready and my tea. I might leave early so I can take a nap in between my meetings. Well then no, it will only be 15 minutes. 15 minutes isn't a good nap. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to power through, and at like 4, I'm gonna take my nap. All right, I'm looking forward to that nap though. Whew. I'm having some chamomile tea, because that's like one of the only teas I can stand. I was never a tea person growing up. I'm still waiting for this meeting to start. It is 7 past 2, but a lady is patient and hungry. I'm gonna need y'all to start because these cookies are about to disappear. At least it gives my tea time to cool.
Thank you so much, and welcome to the table, Dr. Ben.
All right, y'all. I did not get to do my nap, take my nap that I needed. So I think I'll just sleep early and just save the tiredness till night and then actually fall asleep. I have pretty much like 20 minutes left of Sabbath hours. I might just either like listen to worship music and just sing along, or I might just pray or do something solo, something quiet. I think it's been a good day of fellowship and like interacting with other people, but I haven't really had that quiet time again. So just me and God. So I want to do something like that, because that's always the most refreshing part. So yeah, all in all, it's been a good day. I'm really happy with how it went. Yeah, there have been a lot of things I learned. For one, like I learned a lot about the activism that's historic in the SDA church, which I never knew about. And I went to an SDA school for my elementary years. We never read about it. I will link that in the description as well, because I think everyone needs to see it. Doesn't matter if you're not Adventist, doesn't matter if you're not Black. If you are a human being who is dedicated to social justice, I think it's so cool to learn about the different leaders and what they have all done and how all of us have contributed, and paint that bigger picture of creating the world we all want to live in. And of course, like, yeah, people always say, well, Jesus is coming back, like this world is gonna burn up anyway. But what I'm saying is, while we're here, we're gonna be held accountable for how we treat other people and what we did to help them. Like, yeah, we can't fix every problem, but if we're just sitting around, those are the group of people who Jesus is gonna look at and be like, I don't know you. Throw them into the lake of fire. The people who did nothing, the people who sat around. And it's not a guilt thing, but it's like, if you don't have the empathy to help other people, and that's what God is all about, I mean, why do you want to be in heaven? You're not going to relate to anything. So, we do need to do the work. And those of us who do actually really care, we have to figure out ways to help the community. We have to learn. We have to sit quietly and listen. We have to align ourselves with what's already there. You know what I just thought about? The fact that in art class, This is common literally with everything, which is why I'm going to an HBCU for my master's. All of the examples are always like from white artists. I mean, all of it. It's white artists painting white people. And like, that's understandable because the examples are from Europe and people paint what they see and what they know and what they choose to acknowledge. And I mean, let's be honest, there have always been people of color around that area as well. Do your research, Google it.
The tea is exceptionally good today.
And yeah, it's like there will only be one section about Black artists, like, oh right, we have to be inclusive, instead of just sprinkling them throughout. You know what I mean? Because isn't that how art works? Like, you just genuinely take in a lot of different media and you just genuinely find a lot of different examples. And I'm not really seeing that. It's like, oh, if there is a section about, like, you know, anyone that reflects my identities, it's like, oh, we have to have a set section, like a set section on women, a set section on Black people and Black artists. And it's like, why can't we just genuinely be sprinkled out throughout? You know what I mean? So I might actually just interpret this woman that I'm drawing right now as someone of African descent. I naturally do that anyway because the face I see most often is my own, and this is what it looks like. So I am going to reflect that in my work, kind of like as an intentional to the teacher. And I'm gonna mention it. And we are learning how to draw portraits. So why wouldn't we learn how to draw portraits of people with different facial features, with a range of facial features, rather than the same 3 facial features that we see over and over and over again. And that's why no one is good at like actually drawing people who have different shapes on their face. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing, pull my own references. Y'all know her name is Michaela Cole. She is so beautiful. Look at her face. Look at her face. I'm going to just integrate her features into this. So I need to find her kind of like staring into the camera at the same angle. I think this is good. Yeah, this one's actually nice for reference. Yep. And the great thing is I live in 2021 and in Victoria. So, you know, I can do what I want, and if I can justify it for the sake of the art, it will be accepted. And boom, exactly that. Like, what y'all gonna say about it? Nothing. And the good thing is that my art teacher as well, he really loves when we take our own interpretations of different pieces. And yeah, this is what my activism looks like. It's so interesting that it has to be called activism to just simply include people who look like me in a class that I'm taking. You know what I mean? It should not be activism to be like, let me learn how to draw facial features that reflect like my community. Like, that should just be normal, but not all of us are privileged enough to be seen as normal. Like, everything we do, if it does involve us, it's radical. Like, you would dare see yourself as a person? You would dare see yourself as a muse for art? What a radical and brave. It's not radical and brave, my guy. That's how art works. But anyway, I am drawing her. She has such a beautiful face, such striking, distinct features. Absolutely gonna change this picture up because, girl, tell me why I've just been smiling this entire time. Like, this just makes me so happy. It's so wholesome. It's just so heartwarming. Like, when I was drawing the other face, it was like, okay, I kind of see it. But as I'm drawing Michaela's face, everything just makes sense. I'm like, okay, because like the lip line I had drawn, the lips didn't extend all the way to the corners. And again, like, that's not what I see reflected in the mirror. So I'm like, I don't know. But here it's just like the fact that her lips go from corner to corner. I'm like, yes, this is making sense. It's clicking. Like, this is how faces look that I'm familiar seeing. You know what I mean? It's just satisfying to like create something and be like, I have seen this in the real world. I have a concept of what this looks like. Yes. And Michaela's features obviously are not exactly like mine, so it's still a challenge. And I do see some similarities with her nose and Lady Agnew's nose. in a way that mine does not have, because mine's like upturned. Theirs are both like almost like downturned. So there are some similarities, but the eye shape is different, the hair is different, and I'm considering doing Michaela's hair. I might, I don't know. I guess like it's kind of the same idea anyway. I'm honestly just gonna do Michaela's hair and just interpret it how I need to. Because again, my art teacher is very flexible. If I just like write that out, then he'll be like, oh, okay. Like he's one of those teachers. He's not so rigid that like you can't interpret the art in your own way. Like as long as you justify it, he will be like, all right, I get it. Yeah, like I'm honestly looking forward to this. Like her face is just so distinct and her bone structure is so like defined that it's easy to see the proportions of the face, because you're like, okay, I can see where this part is, I can see where this part is, I can see what's happening, and you can just, it just makes sense. So that's why I've been smiling this whole time, because I'm like, okay, like it is so easy to draw her face, and wow, it's an honor to have her as a muse. I cannot wait to hand this in. I better get 100%, y'all. So what I did was I swapped out Michaela's features, like her eyes, eyebrows, nose, and lips, and also her ears, her chin, literally everything. But I'm still gonna obey the lighting of this picture. So although I am like, you know, using this as reference, and I obviously like have highlighted her nose and shadows in different areas, I'm still going to do this under the eye, even though it's not in any of these. And I am going to also shade over here and like do the same kind of like highlights and lowlights. Although I think with her skin tone, I still want to reflect that obviously. So I still will be shading it a little bit more and kind of using this lighting in general on her face. But I'm still going to obey like the little details in this picture, and of course the background in this one. And like, okay, I know that the face of whoever it is I'm drawing, this hybrid person, does not look even, but really if you look at any face on the entire planet, our facial features are not perfectly even. Like our eyes are sisters and not twins, and that's like one of the weirdest concepts to me on the entire planet. It trips me out. I'm also trying to not judge myself too hard for everything not looking exactly like symmetrical, because real faces are not symmetrical. Beauty does not have to be symmetrical. We're not limited to that. So yeah, I'm like really excited about this actually.
But this could be the one, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you always want to make sure that, you know, you putting out great content, putting out great quality stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know when it's your time, but it's like, but you gotta remember that everyone is not gonna be that one though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I saw this like one quote. It said that luck is nothing but when opportunity and preparation meet. Like we see certain people, or we see certain like, oh, he only got that because he was in the right position. But if you've been preparing to be in that right position your whole entire life, that time's gonna come.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fate at that point.
Exactly.
With like creating content stuff, like the growth is incremental. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like it's baby.
And let me know, for those of you guys who have like multiple talents, and this is not bragging or anything, but for those of you who have such like random diverse talents, tell me that y'all don't surprise yourselves every time you come back to a random skill you have and you're like, hold on, I'm actually talented. Like what? No, honestly, like I'm really proud of it. It means a lot to me. For once, it's not just another art exercise. And hey, as long as I get that grade. And actually, it's not even about the grade, you know? That's the beautiful thing about it. Now that it actually means something to me, like, yo, I'm really obsessed with this, actually. I'm really obsessed with her. I'll be honest, I find vlogs incredibly boring. I like to only make videos that I actually watch, and I don't watch vlogs at all. But I hope you've caught some running themes going on. I hope there's something here that you can like resonate with. And if anything, I hope it was a window to somebody else's life. A year ago, I was exhausted. I was praying for a break. I felt like, you know, when you're biking uphill and you're like, you just keep pushing because you're like, okay, at least when I get to the top, I can just let go of the pedals and fly. And it felt like I was biking, waiting for the top, but I never get there. There's no place where it stops. So I just got off the bike, fell off the bike. And I was like, I don't know what needs to happen, but I need a break. And then lockdown. Everything shut down in March. I can't tell you how happy I have been. No social obligations. That was it. No social obligations. I've been trying to pour in inspiration, pour in joy, pour in insight, money, of course, time, my skills. I have learned new skills so I can give back, but finally I feel like I can rest. Finally, I feel like I can rest. And now I'm at a point where I have rested and I've got my energy back. And this time I'm not wasting it. This time I am not spending it where it's not appreciated. This time I'm not using my creativity and my drive in places that are actively fighting against me and will still credit themselves and say, oh, well, we pushed you and that's what made you great. No, I want people who celebrate me. I want to work and it to be rewarding at every step of the way. So I have really changed where my energy goes into, and I don't regret it. I know it looks selfish and I don't care. I cannot burn myself out to light the way for people who could care less. I am going to spend my energy and my time wisely. I'm not wasting it. I know this intentionality is paying off. It pays off for me. Coming up in the month of March, I want to just commemorate that rest by giving y'all ASMR. I'm giving you boring content, relaxing content, peaceful content, however you want to categorize it. Just chill, relaxing vibes. If it's not ASMR, it's going to be something that was therapeutic for me to create. If it's not therapeutic for me to create, well, I guess I won't make it. I'm just going to be making things that are calming and just tap into what my definition of peace and tranquility is, because really that is what I have gained. So I want to now pour some of that back out. I really encourage everyone to just be intentional about who you let close to you. At this point, I do not feel obliged to give anyone access to me that I do not feel I need to give them access. And it's a good place to be because you can still pour into others without exposing everything about yourself, you know? So if I seem like a boring person, I'm doing that on purpose because I'm keeping some things private to myself, including things about my own personality. And I have the right to do that, and so do you. You're a person. And wow. I didn't know I just felt that. All right. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one.